Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Francis. All right, if you're just waking up with us here this morning, we got a lot to talk about. Several breaking stories from overnight, developing stories we've been following for you throughout the week. But we have to talk about the weather because we could be waking up to some rain showers, maybe some snow showers.
Yeah.
How was your drive?
Maybe it's totally dry.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
came from Guilford, so there's not much really happening south and east.
Yeah.
But if you look towards the north, you mentioned up in Southwick, I think we saw some images earlier.
Yes.
Some flakes up in Mass. Some of those made their way into northeastern parts of our state first thing this morning. Anything now, though, primarily rain. Here's a live look in New Haven, 45 degrees. Very mild out there. You see the breakwalls there out in Long Island Sound. Hartford, 38, a bit cooler. Winds are variable, but notice the damp roadways. That's what we're seeing out there. Across the northeast, we had a few light snow showers overnight. Nothing now really seeing below freezing, so we're looking at rain. But there's more out towards the west, and this will all be making its way towards Connecticut over the next several hours. Notice First Alert Live radar beginning to fill in along I-84, just to the north of Danbury, out east, eventually Waterbury, up through Hartford. Seeing some of those light showers out there, so you'll need the umbrella, whether it's for now or later on today, as we're expecting rain even through the afternoon hours. Temperatures, notice cooler to the north, but where we've had the warm front pass off to the south, we're already in the mid-40s. This is above where you should be for the entire day. We do have cold temperatures on the way, and it's going to be accompanied by more showers. I'll let you know when you can expect that, as well as what to expect next week. That's all coming up in less than 10. Good morning, Kate.
All right, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. It's 7:02. Let's get you an update here on those roads. Live look at your drive times. 91, 84, and 95. We're approaching that. Well, we're past that 80-minute ride here, Mark. We're going to approach the hour-and-a-half ride mark coming up here shortly. So normal delays down through Fairfield County. As you can see here, we've got a little bit of those reds and oranges on the parkway. Very typical here for 7 o'clock. No crashes, though, out there. Majority of the state not looking bad in terms of those road conditions. We woke up to some wet roads here. It looks like we're just a little damp out there, not doing too bad. You might need the windshield wipers throughout the rest of the day, though. So just heads up on that. Live look in Hartford on 91. We're zoomed in here. That camera has slipped in Middletown along Route 9, but things moving along there as well as they are in Waterbury at 84 and in Meriden 691 east and westbound, looking pretty good to start here on your Thursday. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Right, it's 7:03, and tragic news overnight that everyone is talking about this morning. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office has confirmed actor Gene Hackman, his 64-year-old wife, and their dog were found dead inside their New Mexico home. Police say they do not suspect foul play, but there is now an open investigation. Hackman was 95 years old. His work in film and on stage spanned more than 5 decades. Channel 3's Michael George looks back at his long career.
Whatever you do, don't sell that cow.
Gene Hackman rose to stardom in the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde, a role which would earn him the first of 5 Academy Award nominations. He went on to bring home 2 Oscars for Best Actor in The French Connection in 1972, and then 2 decades later,
See what kind of books Mr. Beauchamp is packing here.
for Best Supporting Actor in Unforgiven, both roles bringing critical acclaim. Hackman was born in San Bernardino, California in 1930. During the Great Depression, his father abandoned his family when he was 13. Hackman dropped out of high school to join the Marines at just 16 years old, lying about his age to enlist. After being discharged, he studied journalism and television production on the GI Bill. Hackman got his acting start at the Pasadena Playhouse in California in the 50s, with humble parts like Town Citizen and First Mover.
Just one thing. How did you beat him?
He was a versatile actor, mastering the role of Superman's arch nemesis, Lex Luthor, in the 80s film saga.
I think I've been very lucky that I've been offered quite a good variety of things to do. And
Hackman played a president, military leaders, and then a nuclear submarine captain in Crimson Tide. He was also a coach with a checkered past in the classic film Hoosiers.
I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game. In my book, we're going to be winners.
He says he was drawn to struggling characters.
for me, that's the most exciting, is to have dialogue with somebody while you're in peril or while you're conflicted.
Oh,
God.
He showed his comedic side in The Birdcage and The Royal Tenenbaums.
Didn't seem believable to me.
Off-screen, he raced cars, competing in Long Beach and Daytona. He was an avid diver, which inspired his first novel. Several other successful books followed. He married twice and had 3 children.
Come on.
Hackman retired from acting in 2004 after a career that spanned 5 decades, appearing in 79 movies. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Well, this morning, a state lawmaker is speaking out after someone called in a bomb threat to his home. Senator Stephen Harding of Brookfield says he and his wife and his family all safe. He's thanking Brookfield and state police for their hard work. Right now, we're waiting to hear back from police to learn more about what happened.
2 students facing charges this morning after some scary moments at Wilbur Cross High School in New Haven. Police say 2 students there were arrested after reports of a gun at the school yesterday. Investigators swept the school while it was on lockdown, but learned one of the suspected students had already left the building and was later found with another student with a BB gun. Both now facing charges, and this morning police are stressing no threats were made and no one was hurt. 706, UConn professor under arrest and under investigation after investigators say she misused university funds to go on extravagant vacations, including 8 international trips.
Your reporter Marcy Jones has a breakdown of the charges and how the professor is responding.
Good morning. Well, this all stemmed from an anonymous complaint a little while ago over some suspicious charges from Dr. Sherry Zane to UConn. Now all of the details are coming out in this 79-page report. The interim director of Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies, Dr. Sherry Zane, has been on paid administrative leave from UConn since November. However, Zane was just arrested last week. Zane's accused of spending more than $58,000 on 19 trips, including Disney World 3 times, North and South Carolina, Chicago, Portugal, and 7 trips to Ireland. While Zane claims these were work trips, the facts within the report are hard to argue. The Disney trips included her children. The Chicago trip, she went to visit her mother and stepfather. And on those Ireland trips, Zane visited her daughter at university, attended her daughter's graduation, and according to the report, Zane admitted to getting married while on a trip to Belfast. The warrant says these trips were all approved by Zane's supervisor, Catherine Capshaw, an English professor. At this time, UConn has not made it clear whether or not Capshaw will face disciplinary action as well. Zane is facing larceny in the first degree. Her bond has been set at $10,000. Your reporter in stores, Marcy Jones, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
This morning, dive teams will be back out on the Connecticut River after someone drove their car into the water right near Middletown's Harbor Park boat launch yesterday. We're taking a live look here at that area now where an investigation will continue in just a couple of hours this morning. This is a story, again, we first brought to you as breaking news Tuesday night. Crews were able to pull that vehicle from the water yesterday afternoon, and police believe the driver's body is still somewhere in the water.
A man and woman facing charges this morning for what police are calling a series of thefts from large home supply stores. Police tracked down the vehicle officers say they used in the thefts, and investigators stopped it with David Pasquarello and Eileen Johnson inside. Officers say it happened just after they got another theft report from a store in North Haven. Reportedly stolen merchandise was found in the car, along with drug paraphernalia. Both are now facing several charges.
Hey, if you've got a young athlete at home, you want to pay close attention to this next story happening later today in Waterbury. There's free cardiac screenings available for kids, teens, and young adults.
Yeah, so needed. Your reporter Owen Kingsley has more on this scary incident that's called the community to take action.
Yeah, it was definitely a scary moment over at John F. Kennedy Memorial High School. We're at a basketball game. A Holy Cross player, Tylon Lott, he collapsed minutes just after the game had ended. Well, now tonight at the YMCA here at Waterbury, your child could get preventative, potentially life-saving preventative care. The Holy Cross student was saved by the quick action of police, an athletic trainer, and fire marshal. They used a defibrillator before getting the teen to the hospital. This is not the first time an apparent cardiac emergency has happened to a Connecticut teen. In the last 2 years, 2 teenagers died during football practices. Every school in Connecticut requires at least a pre-participation physical to play in any sport. but advocates have been calling for more EKG screenings to better identify potential heart problems. Again, tonight here at the YMCA on West Main Street, there'll be a health fair offering free cardiac screenings between 4 and 8 o'clock tonight right inside. Teammates of Lots on Holy Cross will be here as well to support. Your reporter in Waterbury, Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
A horrible update to share right now. Health officials in Texas say a child is dead after being hospitalized with measles last week. We're told the child was not vaccinated, and it's part of an ongoing outbreak that began last month in the western part of Texas. There are 124 confirmed cases right now. Most of them are among unvaccinated children. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he is monitoring the situation, and it comes as 10% of the CDC's employees were fired over the last few weeks.
And as we get another check of your forecast, the time right now 7:11 on your Thursday morning. Temperatures out there on the cooler side, depending on where you are. If you're farther towards the north, say through areas of inland Connecticut, look, it's still 36 degrees at Bradley, but you'll make a run at 50 today with some rainfall expected. Some out there now, but more expected later on this afternoon. Milder farther towards the south, but right now it's 45 degrees in New Haven. First Alert Live radar. Notice any of the pinks out there now pushing up into southern and western Massachusetts. That's really any of those snowflakes out there. We had those overnight, but not seeing that right now. Anything we're seeing across the state that's falling out of the sky is certainly in the form of rain. Look at through New Milford and Bridgewater, some of that light to even moderate rain at times. This will continue throughout the rest of the day today, expecting everybody to get some rainfall later on this afternoon. We're going to time it all out, though, and let you know what to expect beyond that coming up in just a few minutes. Tracy?